We've all been there, staring back at you as a zero balance, a rejection letter, or a situation you desperately want out of. The panic hits instantly, and your stomach drops. In that exact moment, your brain makes a logical error. You look at what's right in front of your eyes and accept it as the absolute truth of who you are and what is possible for you right now. The danger lies in your emotional reaction. When you give your fear and focus to a negative circumstance, you are providing your mind with a blueprint for more of the same. By reacting to the problem, you are mentally staying in the very state that created it. The physical world around you isn't actually the present. It is more like a photograph of a moment that has already passed. Everything you see or touch is just an echo. It is the delayed result of the thoughts, beliefs, and assumptions you held onto weeks or months ago. Because of this delay, letting today's circumstances dictate your mood is a strategic error. Reality is a reporter of the past and not a prophet of your future. There is a massive speed difference between your inner world and the physical world. Thoughts can change in an instant, but physical matter is dense and slow to move. Think of the outer world like a shadow. When you stand up, the shadow moves with you, but it is always one step behind your actual body. Your physical reality follows your consciousness in that same way. We call this gap the reality lag. By the time a situation is visible or tangible to your senses, the creative process that started it is already finished. What you are seeing is the end of a cycle, not the start of one. This lag is where most people give up. They adopt a new mindset for a few days, but then they immediately scan the horizon for proof that something has changed. Demanding proof during the latency period is like digging up a seed every morning to see if it's growing. Constant checking for evidence confirms you are still anchored to your old reality. This doubt interrupts the growth of your new state and forces the cycle of waiting to begin all over again. To navigate the reality lag, you have to change how you occupy your mind while the physical world catches up. This requires a discipline called living in the end. It means moving your psychological home into the feeling of the final result, regardless of what the current photograph of your life shows. Most people think of a desire, which reinforces the fact that they don't have it yet. To bridge the gap, you must think from the desire. You assume the role of someone who has already reached the goal. This means aligning your internal dialogue and your daily expectations with that version of yourself. You walk and speak as if your desired reality is a current fact, even while the old reality is still fading away. By treating the desire as a completed fact, you stop being a victim of circumstances. You force the outer world into a position where it must eventually mirror your inner state. Internalizing the reality lag removes the reason to panic when negative circumstances arise. You stop reacting to the world as if it has authority over you. When you see something you dislike, treat it like a letter that was mailed weeks ago. You acknowledge that it arrived, but you don't engage with it emotionally because you know it no longer represents your truth. This changes how you approach change. You stop wrestling with physical circumstances and focus instead on the discipline of directing your own attention. You have to learn to silence the outer voices, the practical advice, the societal norms, and your own five senses. If they don't align with your vision, they are irrelevant. By holding an inner assumption with unwavering loyalty, you create an internal pressure that forces the physical world to rearrange itself. The true architect of reality honors the invisible first. If you ignore the illusions of the present and trust the seeds you have planted, the physical harvest is inevitable.